Hey guys, it's been a while since I've done a review. I apologize for that. I actually did go to the premiere of Dumb and Dumber 2. I just never got around to doing the review. So tonight I saw Whiplash, and so I'll do a review of Whiplash, and then I'll very briefly just give my 2 cents on Dumb and Dumber 2. I won't be having any reviews up later this week. I'll be too busy with the family for Thanksgiving, so I don't think I'll be seeing any new movies this week. But first thing next week, I'll go see The Imitation Game and give my thoughts on that. So I'm going to go ahead and talk real quick about Whiplash. So our town finally got Whiplash in our independent theater. I was pretty excited to see that. So I just got back from seeing it a couple hours ago, and I've thought it over and talked about it with a friend who I went to go see it with. And I loved this movie. I had pretty high hopes for it. I was hearing good things. Another friend of mine who saw it before I did told me that it was really good and heavily recommended it. So I went to this with pretty high hopes, and I was not let down. The movie is about an ambitious jazz drummer in college, and Whiplash just does such a fantastic job showing you the extreme discipline and psychological toll that expert musicians must face to be the best at what they do. You know, this student, this kid, his name is Andrew in the movie, that's all he cares about, is just being the best drummer he can be, and his genre of choice is jazz, which, if you don't know, that is an extremely technical genre, especially for drums, especially for percussion. And this movie just does such a great job showing that. I can be kind of picky sometimes when I watch movies that show musicians trying to make it. I play music and I enjoy music a lot, and it's something that I'm really into. I'm into movies more, but I love music, and I've seen so many movies just do such a piss poor job of portraying music and the art of music on the screen and showing you the discipline and the toll that can have on a person, really. And this movie just does it so well. It's one of the best movies I've seen that does it. There's been some other great movies that do it, but this movie really just shows, again, just the psychological toll that a person who's just striving to just be the best of all time, or at least one of the best of all time, when that's all they care about, like, it just does such a good job showing that, and it shows the consequences of that. I mean, this movie just does such a great job showing, it shows true respect to the art of music, as well as also showing the consequences of when an artist, musician has no boundaries to be the best. It questions that. It questions how far is one willing to go, all sourced from their unconditional and unbreakable passion for music, and how far they're willing to go, and when that's the center of their life, the prices that they're willing to pay for that. How far are they willing to go to be one of the best? What prices are they willing to pay to be one of the best? And at the end of the day, if their passion for art, if their passion for music is really that strong, then those prices are worth paying. And this movie, again, just does a great job showing that. It's phenomenally well acted, beautifully shot, and it's fast paced. It keeps you invested. This is one of those few movies I've seen this year where it was so well paced and I was so invested in what was going on. I was so into what was going on that I realized, like, oh my gosh, we're already an hour into this. At one point I was like, oh my gosh, this is the climax. I just realized that because I was just so into it. I found it so intense. And the music scenes, the scenes where our main character is playing the drums and he's, being tested and he's being watched and he's, there's things at stake, for him. Things are on the line. The scenes are shot so well and they're so intense and it's just alive. The music in this movie just feels so alive, and like I said, that's what I loved about this movie, is that it just shows true respect to the art of music. And that's at the end of the day, Whiplash, it's a real movie, a real story, and a real portrayal of music and art, and all of its pain and all of its glory. Anybody that plays music can definitely relate to this. And even if you haven't played music, you'll probably still be able to relate to this film in some way, shape, or form. It's just so down to earth. I loved this film. I know keep repeating myself, but I can't say enough good things about this. I heavily recommend it. I'm giving it an A. One of the best films I've seen this year, hands down. Definitely see Whiplash. Okay, now I'm going to talk about a very different movie. Let's talk Dumb and Dumber 2. I actually do like the first Dumb and Dumber. It is a little dated. It's very much a 90s comedy. A lot of the gross out humor doesn't hold up as well the older you get. But I like Dumb and Dumber. There's so many fun moments, and it's a very quotable film. It's a movie for me that I just can't help but like, even if it has some issues and even if it's very stupid. I like Jim Carrey and I like Jeff Daniels. I think, I've always thought they had good chemistry together. When I heard that they were making a sequel, I kind of thought, too little, too late. But I went to go see it anyways. Here's what I can say about Dumb and Dumber 2. I can't say it's a good film because it's not. And as far as, is it funny though? That's what really matters with the comedy. Is it at least funny? A lot of the comedy is pretty routine. A lot of it repeats the same things that we saw in the first Dumb and Dumber, as well as just the story in general. It's almost the exact same structure. A lot of it is toilet humor. A lot of it is cheap humor. Things that we've seen a million times before. But you know what, man? I would be lying if I said that at the end of the day, I didn't still find it pretty enjoyable. Because I did. I honestly found this movie pretty enjoyable. It's so dumb. It's not a good movie, and the stupidity is definitely amped. Very high. But Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels still have really good chemistry. After all these years, they're still really good together, and they're still fun to watch. Most of the jokes do not work, and most of them are just stupid, fart jokes, toilet jokes, whatever. But you know what? For the jokes that did work, they were actually pretty funny. There were a lot of moments where I was laughing pretty hard, and I can still, it's been a couple weeks now, I still remember quite a few of the jokes pretty well. Am I, excited to go see it again? Not anytime soon. Do I recommend the movie? I'd say if you're a fan of the first one, yes. I'd say if you like the first one, yes. I would recommend it. Don't pay full ticket price. Definitely don't do that. Go see a matinee or wait for it to come out on Redbox, or better yet, Netflix. It is worth a watch, but it's not worth spending too much money over. If you, if you didn't like the first one much, there's probably no chance at all that you're gonna, like this one. Because again, it's just way dumber and it's not as good as the first one. It's not. But if you are a big fan of the first one, it's got some pretty good jokes. It's pretty funny. So, that's my review of Dumb and Dumber 2 and my review of Whiplash. Again, two very different movies. But definitely go see Whiplash. Pay full price for that if it's in your town. It's a independent film, so it's not going to be playing at too many major theaters. But yeah, if where you're living, if you can catch a screening of Whiplash, definitely check that out.